Hi there, this is Rob at Reason101.net, and I'm here to showcase a refill that was put together by a good friend of mine, 3rd Floor Sound, and he's put together a refill called The Theory. And The Theory is a collection of all different kinds of scales that you can imagine, as well as a primer on music theory. And so what he's done is he's categorized all possible chords and scales that are pretty much known to mankind. So what I would do is I would strongly suggest you go to his site. It's thirdfloorsound.com and check out his refill. I'm going to showcase just a little bit of what it can do. I'm going to open it up and show you what's in there. There's chords on scales, there's scales. So if you're looking at all possible different 7-note scales, you can load that up. And he's listed categorically all different scales in here. And if you want to go into any one of them, you can open it up and you can take a look at all the different scales that are inside. So that's just part of his refill. The other thing that he has is he has chords by scale and by tonics. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the chords. Well, actually, before I go into the chords, let me go into the scales for a second. Let's say you're looking for a specific scale. Let's start off with the scale of C. And you can open that up and you can take a look. You can see all the different scales that are listed here. They're listed by major scale, harmonic minors, melodic jazz, harmonic major. All the different scales are listed here. And then at the very end over here, let me just open it up. He's got these things called maps. And what a map is it's all the possible notes that are within a specific scale. So these are all the possible major notes in C. So if we take that, we can copy it and bring it into our own document here, and we can just paste it right down here. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I set up my loop points to be a 4-bar loop, and I'm going to go back in here, and I've got a little ditty like that, which is just a random sequence of notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that pattern to the track, so it's now inside the track here. So what I can do is I can go into his file, I can select all the notes, I can go Control A to get all the notes, and then I can pull the notes over to overlap them here like this. And then when I go in here, I can notice that which notes are on the lanes, in other words, which notes are in the proper key and which notes aren't. So I can then just go and grab these notes, for instance, and pull them down. And these notes are in place. These notes are all in place here. These notes are not, so I can go grab these notes and I can pull them down. If you hold your shift key down, they stay in the proper spots. There's some other notes here. So I can just go down, grab those. Whoops. Okay, grab all the notes. Shift them down. Same with these ones. Shift them up. Just for the heck of it, let's shift this one down. So now, I believe all my notes are on the proper lanes. Okay, and that's how a scale map works. And then what you can do is you can go in, you can select that, and you can delete it, and it'll remove the overlay. So now when I play this back, I'm just going to go and turn off my pattern. When I go and I play this back, it'll all be in key. Well, that is if we can hear it playing. Oh, that's right. Whoops, and sorry, that was my phone. Let's go back into the song mode. Let's put it on the actual combinator track, and now we can play it. So now that's in the key of C. So no problem there, right? You've got your lead. Now what you can also do using his refill, you can go back in. Let me see. File, open. Now I can go to my chords and I can do it by scale, because I want to choose in the scale. I'm going to choose a major scale, so I need to select the major scales. And if you open it up, you'll see all the different chord progressions. Well, not the chord progressions, I shouldn't say that. You will see all the possible chords that are in the keys of C. You can see all the possible keys. There's D flat, there's D, there's E flat, and so on and so forth. So let's stick with C, and we'll take a typical chord progression. You can see it goes from the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So a typical chord progression would be, let's say, a 1, a 4, and a 5 together. So we'll take the majors. We'll take that one, take this one, and we'll take that one. And what you can do inside his file is you can actually just copy it down here like that. And then you can solo down here, put your loop marker there, or your play marker there, and just play it. And that's your typical chord progression. And then you can copy that and bring it back to your document and paste it in there. Move it up here and move it next to the lead. And if you don't want it to sound so long, what you can do is you can change the setting to half. So this will play each half. And then put the lead on top of it like that. And now let's hear it. So you can create some pretty interesting stuff. You can copy it over here again. So you go back to the 1 and play that over again. So just by doing this, you can get a lot of different interesting progressions going, and you can just basically copy the notes over. You can also, of course, go in and change the note length if the notes are too long, and just play around with those notes. And you can set them an octave higher, octave lower. I mean, you can do a lot of interesting things with this, but it's a really inspirational refill in that respect. So that is his refill. I would highly recommend it. It's only $35. It's not expensive at all. It's a worthwhile investment. The other thing that I'm going to just show you really quickly is I wanted to go back in here and open up he's got this music theory document, which goes along with the PDF that was written to be a primer on music theory. And if you look at this thing, I mean, this thing is, let's put it this way, 3rd Floor Sound is absolutely crazy. I think he's crazier than myself. I think he might even be crazier than Hyde. I'm not absolutely certain. But if you look at some of these diagrams, for example, the circle of fifths, okay, this thing is insane. He's gone in here and written all of the notes that are in the circle of fifths, okay, and all the keys and everything. He's written that out using notes inside the main sequencer. This guy is absolutely off his nut. I don't know what he's smoking, but I want some of it. So that's just a little taste of what he has to offer. The other thing that he's done is he's actually categorized all of this by blocks, using the blocks to tell you what each of these things are. So here you've got your note names, your placement, and how to read music. And like I said, I mean, he's drawn everything in. I don't know how long this took him, but if it was me doing this, it would have taken me years to do this. So I think this is absolutely really, really essential. If you don't know your theory, or even if you do know your theory, it's a great index of all the different chords and scales, and it's also a really good primer on learning how music theory relates and pulling that all inside Reason and inside Record so that you can learn it directly inside the program. And for 35 bucks, honestly, you can't find a better way to spend your cash, in my opinion. So with that said, go to his site, 3rdfloorsound.com, and check out his refill, purchase it, and you will be in heaven. Trust me, this will help you out a lot. So once again, I'm Rob. Come visit me at reason101.net, And thanks for taking the time out to listen.